Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television. A reminder of our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari launches metro rail line in Abuja's Central Business District, believed to be the first of its kind in West Africa. Nigeria's main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, protests against alleged attack on Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose by anti-riot police. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, distributes sensitive materials to all 16 local government areas in Ekiti State ahead of Saturday's governorship election. And President Donald Trump's victory claim over defense spending at the North Atlantic Treaty Organization Summit in Brussels generates dispute. ChannelsTV.com has more information for you, and on youtube.com/channels where you can watch our videos. You can also watch us on your mobile device via your browser or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. Besides giving you access to news updates on the go, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app have an eyewitness feature you can use to share pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. You can install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu, then follow the instructions. The Vice-Chancellor of the Lagos State University, Professor Larinwaju Fagbon, the Attorney General of Lagos State, Mr. Mosidik Kazim, his Ondo State counterpart, Adekola Olawoye, and 28 others have been named as Senior Advocates of Nigeria by the Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee. The Secretary of the LPPC says a total of 106 lawyers, with 83 under advocacy and 23 under academic, applied for the new rank. But at the end of the 135 plenary session of the committee, only 31 were found worthy of being conferred with the privileged rank.
Practitioners Privileges Committee, at its 133rd plenary session held today, July 12, has elevated 31 legal practitioners to the inner bar. The rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria is awarded as a mark of excellence to members of the legal profession who have distinguished themselves as advocates and academics. All in all, 106 legal practitioners applied. 83 under the advocate category and 23 under the academic category. The swearing-in ceremony of the 31 legal practitioners will take place during the 2018-2019 new legal year of the Supreme Court.
The full list of the new Senior Advocates of Nigeria is available on our website, channelstv.com. In the meantime, the Abuja Division of the Appeal Court has adjourned hearing in the suit challenging the judgment of a federal high court which set aside the amendments of the Electoral Act Bill 2018. The three-man panel of the court, led by Justice Abubakar Yahaya, told parties that a full court will be constituted to hear the suit, as their panel cannot hear the appeal. Reacting to the pronouncement of the court, the counsel to the National Assembly, Mr. Joseph Daudu, told the court that the issue before the court is very urgent, as it touched on the coming election. He added that the urgency is more intense, as not having a pronouncement can make anyone want to challenge the bill. However, in his submission, counsel to the Accord Party told the court that there is nothing urgent about the appeal to warrant parties to return to the court when the appeal court is already headed for its annual vacation. He therefore urged the court to adjourn the case to the next legal year. In a short ruling, the lead judge, Justice Abubakar Yahaya, adjourned the case for a full panel to be constituted to a date to be communicated to parties. The Federal High Court held the appeal of the Accord Party in a suit it filed urging President Muhammadu Buhari not to sign into law the amended Electoral Act Bill 2018, reordering the election sequence in Nigeria on the grounds that the National Assembly lacked the powers to decide on the sequence of the election on behalf of the Independent National Electoral Commission. The reformed All Progressives Congress, under the leadership of Mr. Buba Galadima, is asking a federal high court sitting in Abuja to declare invalid, null and void the election of Comrade Adams Oshomole and 51 others elected as national officers of the All Progressives Congress. In a suit filed by Mr. Buba Galadima, Kasim Afegwa and 2 others on behalf of the reformed All Progressives Congress, the plaintiffs are asking for a declaration that, having regard to the Constitution of APC, particularly Article 20, the election conducted on June 23rd at Eagle Square is invalid, null and void. The plaintiffs are therefore seeking an order of perpetual injunction restraining Comrade Oshomole and the other 51 defendants from parading themselves or claiming to be officers of the APC or performing any function as officers of the party in any capacity whatsoever, as their elections and swearing in as officers of the APC is invalid, null and void. No date has been fixed for the hearing of the suit. We're with the federal lawmakers now who've condemned the gruesome killing of 40 people in Sokoto State by armed bandits. They urge the federal government to mandate the Air Force and police helicopter divisions to carry out aerial surveillance in Sokoto, Zamfara and Kebbi states to identify the locations and hideouts of the bandits. Meanwhile, a constitution alteration bill for the creation of state police has been presented in the Senate and read for the first time. Our correspondent, Terry Ikumi, reports. That report in a moment. We'll toss it over now to Linda Akigbe in Abuja for more on the news at 10. Hi, Linda.
Hello, Amarachi. So to that story about the amending the constitution for state police, our correspondent Terry Kumi reports.
This is the Fidal prayer for those who were killed in the banditry attack in Sokoto.
Usual topic of discussion in the National Assembly. Lawmakers observe a minute's silence for yet another set of gruesome killings.
May the souls of all our brothers and sisters who lost their lives in this unfortunate incident rest in perfect peace.
The Senate notes with sadness the gruesome and unprecedented killing of innocent and defenseless in the number of foot in Sokoto State by armed bandits on Monday morning at Dogonyaru in the district in Rabah local government area of Kebbi State.
One after the other, the senators take turns to react.
Before then, the army and the police were invited to come to the place. They came. They were there briefly, and the people who were monitoring them, that's the bandits. Immediately after the army and the police left the place, they just came in and started killing people.
There are some states that are even 3 times bigger than Ikiti, but we have taken over 30,000 policemen. That is, we are not even talking about civil defense. We are not talking about other security agencies that took their men to Ikiti. Some security chiefs that are supposed to do this work, they are being protected by certain people close to the system.
They maintain their stand that the solution to the killings is the creation of state police. And to drive home their point, a bill to amend the Constitution for the establishment of state police is presented in the Senate.
To make provision for state and community policing. So the committee has fulfilled its mandate, and now the bill has been taken for the first time. And I'm sure that as soon as possible we'll take the second reading and then probably send it to public hearing through the committee as well, so that we'll fast track it as directed by the Senate.
The killings in Sokoto State also elicited reactions from members of the House of Representatives.
The government has to stand up to its responsibility, or it should do the needful.
We don't have the power of execution, but we have the power to legislate and let Nigerians know that we spoke. And that's what we are doing here. If actions have not been taken on 79 motions that were brought about, all we could do here is every day, let's observe a minute silence.
Our country is being invaded by people we do not know. And Mr. Speaker, it means that as Parliament, we should start to realize that it is business unusual.
While the Senate has resolved to urge the federal government to mandate the Air Force and police helicopter divisions to carry out aerial surveillance in Sokoto, Zamfara and Kebbi states to identify the locations and hideouts of the bandits, the House of Representatives resolved to set up a committee to conduct an audit to identify the country's exact security manpower. Terry Ikumi, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, Governor Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto State has described the killing of 32 people in Gandhi Rabba local government area of Sokoto State as unfortunate, insisting there is a need to overhaul the security structure in the country. Governor Tambuwal promised that his administration would continue to support security agencies to check the menace.
This is the Fidal prayer for those who were killed in the banditry attack in Sokoto on Monday. The Sokoto State Governor is among those paying their last respect to the dead. The attack led to the displacement of thousands of residents of the affected communities in Rabah local government area of the state. Addressing the displaced persons, Governor Aminu Tambuwal assured families of the victims taking refuge in this model school that the government will take measures to address the problem and ensure their return to their communities.
So far, we have recovered about 32 bodies and we have prayed, we have observed their funeral prayers, and we're here with the other heads of security agencies in the state to ensure that adequate security measures have been taken to nip this in the bud. My message to the families of the victims are that they should take heart, and we should all know that we all came from God, and unto Him we shall one day, at His own prescribed time, return. And we give assurances to them that government is doing everything humanly possible to nip this in the bud.
For the security agencies, they appeal for timely information of any suspicious movement around the communities to be able to address the challenge.
One of the problems that we are facing is timely information. When these people are seen or observed or any information about their movement is had, we have always been saying, pleading to members of the public that we should know. We will conceal a secret. We're not going to expose anybody who said, who give us information. So it's collective responsibility. We need cooperation from members of the public. And as His Excellency has rightly said, we are going to rejig our security architecture in the state, paying more attention. Already we have been paying more attention to this southern part of the state because of our proximity to Zamfara state. And I'm sure what we are witnessing is spillover from what is happening in Zamfara.
In the meantime, the state government has dispatched relief materials to the victims.
When the News at 10 returns, federal government's targets increased foreign direct investment inflows through partnerships with multilateral and development finance institutions to boost the economy. Please join us again.